pregnant. And I don't know who the father is.
We can resolve the issue using a non-invasive paternity test.
I can't do that right now.
What was your favourite moment from filming the latest season?
Oh, God. I think my favorite moment in the entirety of shooting was the part where Ricky's in the middle of driving out of town and everyone kind of shows up. It was one of my last days on set as well. And I got to kind of say goodbye to everyone on the set and everything. And it was a good time and I got to really get into it. But that was probably my favorite moment for this season. That little chunk, it was pretty insignificant in like the grand total of it, but it meant a lot to me.
Absolutely. Sarah, what about you?
I mean, there is so much that happened in season 4, so it's hard to pick. I think for me, the Renaissance Fair was a standout for me. I mean, getting to get up on stage and even do that little piece of Romeo and Juliet with Grayson and to have an audience out there and just to step on that set and everyone is dressed in these beautiful costumes. You don't get that very often. And I got to dress up like a princess, so that was okay with me.
So cute. I loved it. Grace, I'm just going to come back to you because my next question was about that very emotionally charged scene with Martin Henderson just before you make your sort of exit.
Right.
And Ricky leaves to join the Marines. How was that for you? Because you could feel the sort of emotions whirring between the two of them, and that must have been quite a intense sort of scene for you guys.
Yeah, it was. I think that was my second last day of filming, and it kind of hit me all at once. Everything that was going on, that it was like, coming to an end and everything. And Martin is always such a fantastic actor, so you're never left hanging or in the lurch with him. He's always like there emotionally for a scene. Yeah, it was just one of those scenes that just like kind of it all came together. And it was raining that day too. It wasn't supposed to be. That wasn't like added in like post. It was just a murky, sad day. And it was perfect because it just totally fit the mood of the scene and everything. And it made me even more miserable in a good way. Super emotional for me. It was very cathartic and letting go of the show, I suppose.
Sure. And what's your relationship like with Martin off screen? Because obviously, as Jack and Ricky, you guys are so close. And does that resonate off screen too? I imagine it does.
I remember all the way back in season 1. It was like middle of the way through filming, and I was talking to this girl who I thought was very, very nice and very sweet. And he actually ended up giving me a little bit of relationship advice. It was really sweet, and it was really kind-hearted of him. We both said, never date anyone in the industry. Now I'm dating someone in the industry. But he gave me all this advice about like, listen, like you guys got to connect on like a spiritual level. If you guys don't have the same personal interests in mind, don't pursue it. Like, sure, if they're pretty, that's awesome, but there's more to life than that. And it was it was a very nice bonding moment because it was like, wow, yeah, people don't generally say things like that, especially on set. There can be this barrier, but he was just so willing to give his own personal experience of dating and stuff like that. And it definitely helped generate all the chemistry that I thought we shared pretty well throughout the seasons.
We start to see sort of a different side to Lizzie this season. I think the first time we met her, she was kind of the antagonistic, kind of not following the rules character, especially now that Hope has returned after her accident. We saw a sort of more empathetic side to her and kinder side to her. So how is it for you sort of exploring the different levels of Lizzie this series?
I've been loving it because I feel like even in the short amount of time that she's been there, she realizes that this attitude and all that angst that she had rolling into Virgin River doesn't serve her here, because the people are so willing to be kind to her and willing to see her as a person of value. And she doesn't need to have all these walls up. So I think because of that, she's able to really connect with other people and be more empathetic and realize that the world doesn't revolve around her. because I think she probably thought that as a 19-year-old rolling in from LA, thinking she was better than everybody else. So it is really cool to get to go on that journey with her, even in that short amount of time. She's really, really finding in Virgin River.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just want to ask you about her relationship with Denny as well, new character, which is very interesting to watch. From Lizzie's perspective, where would you like to see things going with that? Because obviously he dropped this huge sort of bombshell on her at the end. And I imagine she's probably thinking, how do I digest this information? So where would you sort of like to see things heading?
She really needs to decide whether she's capable of continuing to be close to this person and deepening their bond when she knows that he has a terminal illness. I think that that's really a heavy thing to deal with when you're 19. And so I would hope that she would be able to maybe rise to the occasion and just live in the moment with Denny. And even regardless of their maybe romantic relationship, I hope that they can get to a place where it wouldn't be awkward if Lizzie took the job that Hope is offering, because I think that's what she really wants to do. And I hope she doesn't let anything with Denny stand in the way of pursuing this thing that I think would give her a lot of purpose.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of heavy things, Grayson, I don't know how much you can say about this, so I apologize if I'm like encroaching on dangerous territory, but are you able to confirm, is this the end of Ricky in Virgin River now?
That is a fantastic question, which since I'm not in contract, I can just answer honestly. I'm not coming back for season 5. I don't think that means that he's not coming back ever, depending on how they play out. I mean, he has a semi-important role in the books, and it can really vary, but I think he needs to like kind of move out of the way so that other plot lines can develop and stuff like that. And at the pace the show has moved for the last 4 seasons, he'd be away for a little while, at least a season. So no, I'm not on season 5, but season 6, season 7, who knows? I'm always happy to come back. I love the show. I love the people. No word on season 5, but maybe words on other seasons.
Fantastic. I'd love to see him back because he's such a brilliant character that I think it makes sense for him to take that time away to do, discover himself in the Marines and that sort of thing. And then perhaps.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's amazing. I think it's a good place to go for the character. Yeah.
Brilliant. Fantastic. On that scene, Sarah, that must have been because it's the last time Lizzie and Ricky see each other, and we're not quite sure whether they've kind of resolved their kind of differences, but you could tell that Lizzie was so gutted to see, Ricky leave. How was that for you filming that sort of Ricky's exit scene and knowing that kind of, that's it for her and Ricky for the time being?
Yeah, I think that scene really shows that the love and the care that she has for Ricky isn't gone. And I think that with time and with healing, like maybe they will revisit this relationship they have. I think it was a good way of showing that like the door is still open. I don't think Lizzie has ever lost the feelings that she has for Ricky. And I think that scene just in general was so beautiful and really encapsulated the heart of Virgin River, which is the community and the love and the way that people like really show up for each other. And the whole town is there to send Ricky off because they're all his family.
Absolutely. And where for you, sort of besides the Denny stuff, where would you like to see Lizzie go in season 5? I know you guys are already working on that now, but is there anything you'd like to see happen to her, or sort of anything you'd like for her to sort of discover about herself in the season that you're filming now?
Oh, so many things. I would love to see her find that purpose and see her continue to develop relationships with people like Hope, who is such a strong female character and would be a really great role model for Lizzie. And I think that the more that she dives into stuff like that, you'll really see who Lizzie is. And I would also love to learn more about her parents and learn more about why she is the way she is. And maybe one of them comes to town. Maybe she gets to talk about that relationship that she has with them more, because there's a reason why she showed up with all of this baggage and this chip on her shoulder. And I think it would be cool to show the audiences more of why she is like that, pull back the curtain a bit.
I love that. That would be amazing. I was just going to ask if there's anyone you would have loved to spend more screen time with, or perhaps retrospectively, now that you've sort of stepped away from it, that you would have liked to have had sort of more moments with.
Yeah. This is one of those questions where it's really impossible to answer, because the characters are all amazing. There's several characters who, certain people in the shows never really, their bubbles never really meet. Like Doc and Ricky never really have meaningful conversations ever, sort of thing, right? I'd say probably some of my favorite scenes I've ever filmed on the show are with Colin or Preacher on the show. He's such a fun-loving guy, and he does. We have, like, I think personally, fantastic scenes. Like there's this one scene in season 3 at the funeral, and we have this little tender sort of moment. And I wish we had more of those, because in the books they're pretty prevalent. Like Rick in the books, he has a lot more scenes with Preacher, who takes just as much of a father figure role as Jack ends up. And I think that was one thing that was missing from me. But otherwise, I'm very happy with how the show turned out, and they balanced everything really well.
Absolutely. And I wanted to ask you both, actually, this series just goes from strength to strength with each season. It's a global hit. And do you think, there's a long future ahead for the show, and why do you think it's resonated so well with a global audience?
I think it's going to stick around for as long as everyone is on board, to be honest. As long as the storylines keep getting juicier, it's a show that has an unlimited shelf life, because it's such a slice of life. It's not this, like, you don't watch something where it's like a Marvel movie or something where the stakes are always life ending. It's nice to have something where it's like the stakes are always high, but you're never in such a situation where you're getting too stressed or something like that. So it's a nice show to watch when you want some drama, but you don't want something that's just insane. Like watching something like Ozarks, like I get itchy because it's just too much. I have to, like, take it in bursts. So it's nice to have a show where it's not always about go and it's just insanity. It's just nice to have something that's relaxed and breathable and stuff like that. And I think that's why I think the show can go for as long as the actors and writers don't get bored.
We want it to. Sarah, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think the show could go on for a very long time. There's so many characters, which means there's so many stories that could happen. And I feel like the show exists in such a unique space. And because of that, the audience is so wide and so varied. It's not just a romance drama or like a medical drama or like a crime drama. There's like all these little bits and all these different relationships and friendships that I feel like the audience can see themselves in. Like maybe someone like a gossipy Aunt Connie with a heart of gold, or you are a teenager like Lizzie and you don't really know what you want right now in life. I feel like there's something for everybody to hold on to and to really love. And I think that's why people keep coming back.
Absolutely. Where are you guys at with filming at the moment? Because have you only started recently, or has it been?
Yeah, we started in July. So we're just getting going. The momentum's going. It feels so good to be back. Like Grayson said, like everyone is so lovely and it's such a joy to go to work, and everyone wants to be there and wants to be creating this show that we know so many people love.
I'm going to Vancouver in September. And I'm going to go to Jack's Bar.
Yes.
I'm going to Jack's Bar. Can you recommend any other Virgin River locations that I can visit?
Oh, maybe the Cleveland Dam with the bakery truck, because it's movable. We've gotten to shoot in so many beautiful locations, and we've been to the Cleveland Dam a couple times, and it's so beautiful. So many beautiful trails through there, and you can walk down to like the Capilano River. Yeah, I would go to the Cleveland Dam for sure.
Cool. Okay. I am actually literally writing this down. Cleveland Dam.
Can you come to my birthday then? It's my birthday on the 11th.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you ever so much, guys. You've been
thank you so much.
Dream. Yeah, can't wait to see what's to come. And I wish you all the very best. And I hope I speak to you both again at some stage in the future.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Because
Thank
you've been
you.
amazing.
When I feel like a feather that
Don't give up on him.
You take me